The Louis Vuitton luggage should have been my first clue that this wasn't going to be a normal Tuesday afternoon. I pulled into my driveway after a long day of depositions to find a tower of designer suitcases on my front porch and a candy apple red Mercedes parked where I usually put my Honda. But it was the woman sitting on my porch swing, my grandmother's porch swing, that made me grip the steering wheel until my knuckles went white. Scarlett. Of course that was her name. She looked exactly like the kind of woman Michael would fall for. 23 to my 35, blonde to my brunette, Pilates toned to my stress-eating survivor physique. She was scrolling through her phone with perfectly manicured nails, wearing a white sundress that probably cost more than my monthly grocery budget. I parked on the street and walked up my own driveway like a visitor. She didn't look up until I was climbing the porch steps. "Oh good, you're here," she said, as if I'd kept her waiting for an appointment. "Michael said you'd be home around 6. I need you to pack your things tonight. I'm moving in tomorrow." I stared at her for a long moment, then set down my briefcase very carefully. "I'm sorry, who are you?" She laughed, a tinkling sound that probably charmed every man in a 5-mile radius. "I'm Scarlett, Michael's fiancée." She held up her left hand, where a massive diamond caught the evening light. "Didn't he tell you? We're getting married next month." "Michael's in Singapore on business," I said slowly. "He has been for 2 weeks. Actually, he's in Cabo. With me. We just got back an hour ago." She stood, smoothing down her dress. "Look, I know this is awkward, but Michael said you're being reasonable about the divorce. Very mature of you, considering." "Considering what?" "Well, considering he's been with me for 8 months." She pulled out a manila envelope from her designer purse. "He said you already signed the papers, so this should be simple. I move in, you move out, everyone's happy." I took the envelope, my hands surprisingly steady. Inside were divorce papers, fake ones, I could tell immediately. The case number was wrong, the court seal was blurry, and most tellingly, my signature was forged. Badly. "Did Michael give you these?" I asked. "His lawyer did." "Well, his friend who's a lawyer. Derek something. Derek Patterson. Michael's golf buddy who'd failed the bar exam 3 times before finally passing." "Of course. And Michael told you we're divorced?" She rolled her eyes. "Obviously. Why else would I be here? I'm not a homewrecker. I don't date married men." I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. "Scarlett, is it? Let me ask you something. Have you ever been to this house before?" "No, but Michael showed me pictures. I have so many plans for renovations. That kitchen is tragic, and don't get me started on the master bathroom. Honestly, I don't know how you lived like this." I pulled out my phone. "I'm going to make a call. Don't go anywhere." She shrugged and went back to her porch swing, my porch swing, while I dialed. "Peterson Security," a familiar voice answered. "Hi Tom, it's Andrea Walsh. I need you to pull up the footage from my home security system. Specifically the front porch about 30 minutes ago." "Sure thing, Mrs. Walsh. Any particular reason?" "Trespassing documentation," I said, loud enough for Scarlett to hear. She looked up from her phone, frowning. While Tom pulled the footage, I opened my briefcase and pulled out my business cards. "Andrea Walsh, senior partner, Walsh & Associates Real Estate Law." "Got it," Tom said. Young woman, blonde, arrived at 5:47 p.m. with multiple suitcases. "Want me to save the footage?" "Please. And email it to my work account." "Done. Do you need us to send someone over?" "Not yet. I'll call if I do." I hung up and handed Scarlett my card. She read it, and I saw the first flicker of uncertainty cross her face. "You're a lawyer?" "Real estate attorney." Which is convenient, considering. I pulled another document from my briefcase, one I always kept copies of, just in case. "This is the deed to this house." She looked at it blankly. "So, read the owner's name. Andrea M. Walsh." She looked up. "That's you." "Correct. Sole owner. Purchased before marriage with inherited funds, never refinanced, never added Michael's name. He has no legal claim to this property." "But he said." "He lied." I sat down on the porch step, suddenly exhausted. "Let me guess. He told you I was a bitter ex who was keeping the house out of spite? That he'd paid for everything but put it in my name for tax reasons?" Her silence was answer enough. "Scarlett, how much money have you given him?" "I haven't given him anything." She sounded offended. "I'm not stupid. But," she fidgeted with her ring, "he's been having some cash flow issues. Because of the divorce. So I've been covering our expenses. Temporarily. The Cabo trip? And a few other things. His car payment. Some credit cards. She lifted her chin. But once we're married and he gets his settlement. There is no settlement. We're not divorced. We're not even separated, legally speaking. I stood, decision made. Pack your things. You're leaving. I'm not going anywhere. She clutched the fake papers. I have rights. You have 5 minutes before I call the police and have you arrested for trespassing. And depending on how involved you were in creating these fraudulent documents, possibly fraud. I didn't know they were fake. Then you're a victim too. But you're still trespassing. I unlock my front door. I'm going inside my house now. When I come back out, you'd better be gone. Michael won't let you do this. I turn back to her. Michael doesn't get a vote. And when you see him, tell him his belongings will be on the lawn tomorrow morning. The actual divorce papers will be served to his office on Monday. I went inside and locked the door behind me. Through the window, I watched Scarlett make a frantic phone call, to Michael, no doubt. I couldn't hear the conversation, but I could see her gestures becoming increasingly agitated. My own phone rang. Michael. Andrea, baby, don't do anything rash. Fraud, Michael? Really? You thought I wouldn't notice forged divorce papers. It's not what it looks like. Scarlett misunderstood. Misunderstood what? That you've been cheating for 8 months? That you told her we were divorced? That you tried to steal my house? Our house. My house. As you well know, since you tried to get me to add your name to the deed last year. Remember? For tax purposes? Silence. Then, where am I supposed to go? I hear Scarlett has luggage. Maybe she'll let you borrow a suitcase. I hung up and blocked his number. Through the window, I could see Scarlett loading her bags into her Mercedes, tears streaming down her face. Part of me felt bad for her. She was just another woman who'd believed Michael's lies. But not bad enough to let her steal my home. The house felt different with the truth out in the open. I walked through rooms Michael had never appreciated, running my hand along walls he'd wanted to tear down. Standing in the kitchen he'd called outdated. This 1920s craftsman had been my grandmother's, the only thing of value she'd left me. I'd restored it with my own hands and money, spending weekends stripping paint and refinishing floors while Michael golfed with Derek. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number, Scarlett. He's been cheating on me too. Found out he has a girl in Singapore. I'm sorry. I really didn't know. I poured myself a glass of wine and considered my response. Finally, I typed back. I'm sorry too. If you need a lawyer for any charges related to the fraud, I can recommend someone. 3 dots appeared then. Thank you. And your house is actually beautiful. I was just repeating what he told me. Of course he'd insulted my home to her. Heaven forbid any woman in his life feel secure about anything. The next morning came faster than expected. I'd hired movers, a luxury I could afford thanks to the promotion Michael didn't know about. Senior partner meant I could pay to have his things professionally packed and removed. He showed up at 9 a.m., Derek in tow. You can't do this, Derek announced, waving official-looking papers. I have an emergency injunction. I looked at the papers and laughed. Derek, this is a cease and desist for a business dispute. It has nothing to do with family law or property rights. It's all law, he said uncertainly. Is it though? I turned to Michael. Your belongings are in the garage. Movers have an inventory list. Sign it and they'll load your truck. Andrea, please. 8 years. 8 years during which you lived rent-free in my house, ate food I paid for, and played golf while I built my career. You're right. That's enough. I'll sue. For what? Equitable distribution? You have no claim. Spousal support? I make 3 times what you do. I smiled. Face it, Michael. You played yourself. He grabbed a box from the movers, then turned back. What about Whiskers? Our cat, technically my cat, since I'd adopted him before we met, watched from the window with feline indifference. Whiskers stays. You're allergic, remember? I took allergy medicine for 8 years. Then you can stop now. Silver lining. Derek tried one more time. This is a legal eviction. Derek, you're embarrassing yourself. Also, that fake divorce decree you helped create? The state bar might be interested in that. He paled and retreated to his car. Michael lingered, perhaps hoping for a last-minute reprieve. Where am I supposed to go? I believe Scarlett is looking for a roommate. Her ex-boyfriend lied about his living situation. The movers finished loading. Michael signed the inventory, his signature nothing like the one on Scarlett's fake papers. As the truck pulled away, Mrs. Chun from next door appeared with a casserole. Heard you're doing some house cleaning, she said with a knowing smile. Thought you might need dinner. News travels fast. Scarlett wasn't exactly quiet yesterday. Plus, Michael tried to borrow our ladder at midnight. Said he was locked out. You didn't. Of course not. I told him trespassers would be shot. She winked. I don't own a gun, but he doesn't know that. I hugged her, casserole and all. That evening, I sat on my porch swing, mine alone now, and watched the sunset. My phone had been quiet all day, the drama finally settling. Tomorrow I'd file the actual divorce papers. Next week I'd change the locks, even though I had Michael's keys. After that, who knew? A text from an unknown number interrupted my peace. I almost didn't read it, assuming it was Michael from a borrowed phone. But curiosity won. Hi, this is Amelia from Singapore. I think we should talk about Michael. I stared at the message, then typed back. Scarlett mentioned you. I'm sorry you're dealing with this too. There's a group of us, actually. We have a WhatsApp. A group. Of course there was a group. How many? 7 so far. You'd be 8. I laughed, actually laughed, for the first time in days. Then I typed, send me the link. My grandmother's house had sheltered 4 generations of women. It had survived storms, earthquakes, and one very destructive renovation attempt by my mother in the 80s. It would survive this too. And so would I. The porch swing creaked as I rocked, phone in hand, connecting with women across the world who'd all fallen for the same lies. But I had something they didn't, a deed with my name on it, and the knowledge that home wasn't about who you shared it with, but who respected it enough to leave when asked. Michael had never understood that. He'd seen my house as his future asset, my career as his meal ticket, my trust as his opportunity. But opportunities, like houses, belong to those who earn them. And tomorrow, I'd start earning mine all over again, one real document at a time. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.